Booker T. Washington High School for the Performing and Visual Arts has produced 7 kids with 31 Grammys. Some of our kids are Roy Hargrove, Erica Badu, Nora Jones, Sputz Seawright, and the list goes on and on. We have a lot of kids that are committed to listening orally, taking in the art form, digesting it, then going home and interpreting it, practicing it, re-listening to it, analyzing themselves on a recording after they play it. And it's a true commitment to growth. There's a lot of dedication and discipline involved in what they do. Dedicated program to jazz studies. We teach things like improvisation, jazz keyboard harmony, jazz arranging, jazz combo 1, jazz combo 2, a MIDI ensemble, which is patterned directly after the Zebras of North Texas State that were under the direction, and it played around the world by Dan Hurley. And it's a full-blown program. We have a jazz vocal program with jazz singers. We have a Latin ensemble. We have a pop group, and we have a pure rock group. So these kids can come in. That's the unique thing about the commercial program there, in that, you know, we have the band, we have the orchestra, we have the choir, but then we have about, I would say 20 to 25 small groups in each area of classical, jazz, and other, like Latin, that allow the kids to play in small groups and get ready for a living. And the success story is phenomenal. Last year, we had 186 kids graduate and were offered $23 million in scholarships.
It's probably the best school in the world, honestly. The facility is amazing, and it's so awesome. We get to come into school early. School starts around 9, and we get to, me, Max, and Mike, the bassist and the drummer in the group, we come in school early, and we just jam, like, for an hour and a half before we even had to go to school, and it's just like, all right, cool, we get to be super loud, and no teacher is going to bother us. Like, it's super awesome. Bart is why I'm here. Like, Bart's just amazing. I don't know. That's about the only thing I can say about him. He's just amazing. He's done so much for me, and he's so selfless. I love it.
I started out playing electric bass. I thought John Paul Jones was the coolest bass player ever. I thought Led Zeppelin was the be-all, end-all of music. And then I got to Booker T. I got there, and I saw all these incredible musicians, and I didn't know what to think because I was a freshman at the time. I was 14. They were 18. And I was like, how can somebody be that good at 18 at this music that's so hard? And I dabbled in jazz a little bit around 6 months before I started doing a little bit of jazz playing at the local music school that I went to. And so I got some exposure there, but I mean, nothing heavy, just playing like written out bass lines. But once I got there, those when I took an interest in it. I started taking the jazz improv class with Bart, and then my sophomore year, I was in the second combo and started to really try and get my act together then. My mom is a member of the Dallas Symphony Orchestra, so I remember being like 3 years old, sitting in the symphony, listening to the music. So I got it early on, and I feel like if as many people got it early on as I did, then we'd have a much more jazz-friendly society.
I did not encourage him tremendously. I told him, great, have fun, learn to appreciate music, but find some other way to make a living because the music business can be very difficult. But as time passed, it was clear that he loved music. And so at that point, I progressed to, okay, this is only something you do if you have to. And now he has shown me that he has to. So I'm not worrying about whether he can make a living or not, and I think he will. I truly believe that people who have to make music are the ones who should do this professionally, because otherwise it's just too hard.
I wanted my kids at the school to have a moment that they'll never forget. At a level that doesn't get any better, and that's Bob Menson.
Bob Mintzer sitting over there, and you're like, hear him play something, and you just get goosebumps, and you're like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? It's really cool. I loved it.